This is the plaintiff, Rick. He says he was hired to regrade and repave the defendant's driveway, and the woman stopped payment on the checks she gave him. It seems there were some puddling problems when it rained. He told her he could fix it, and that's when she told him, don't bother, because she was still not going to make good on the checks. He put a mechanic's lien on the woman's house, and now they have one big fat mess on their hands. He's suing for $4,620, the amount he's owed for the work he completed. This is the defendant, Beth Bird. She says her driveway becomes one big, very large puddle after it rains, and that's because the plaintiff doesn't know what he's doing. She has to have all his work ripped out, and it has to be done properly so it drains correctly. She tried to get the plaintiff to fix the problem. He told her no matter what he did, she would still not be happy. So here they are. She's accused of paving her way into a lawsuit. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,185, the cost to fix her driveway correctly.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff was hired to regrade and repave the defendant's driveway and says she stiffed him. But the defendant says the driveway now doesn't drain, so pound sand. It's the case of, you made a puddle in my driveway.
Okay. Rick, you've asked to be referred to only by your first name. You are suing on behalf of your paving company, Ms. Beth Bird, for $4,620, $4,600 of it that she wrote you checks for grading and repaving her driveway, and $20 on a return check fee because she stopped payment on it. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,185 because according to you, you had to repay somebody else to tear all that out and put in a new driveway. What is going on?
Okay, in July of 2012, I was hired to regrade and pave her driveway.
And was it a circular driveway?
No, I have a picture of what it was.
Can I see it?
We widened this because it was all
Okay, I'll let her point it
aggressive.
out. She has
Okay, so it's a straight-in driveway, and then one of the things you did was you widened it on which side, the left or the right?
On the fence side,
Fence side.
about 12 feet by 60.
Okay.
And that was full of tree stumps and all types of debris. So when we finished the job, we were given a retainer when we went on the job. A few days later, the job was completed. She gave me another $1,200 check. And then she called and said that there was some puddles on the driveway, and she stopped payment on the checks. It was actually a text message.
Can I see the text?
Sure.
What happened while he's looking for that?
Rick came on July 18th and quoted the job for $4,600.
How did you find him?
On the internet.
Okay.
And when he showed up to quote the job, the tree workers were there removing the trees from where he was going to widen the driveway.
Okay.
He talked to them personally and he said, please bring the trees down to just below surface and I'll dig them out as I'm digging out the driveway with heavy equipment.
Okay.
That was done. The tree guys did their work. On the 20th of July, he was coming. He said he was coming. It was raining. So I questioned. I thought this wasn't a good idea. And he said, it'll be fine. If we have to let it sit, we'll let it sit. And that evening, after they did tear out the driveway and they did all the prep work, so that was on a Monday, he called me that evening and said he would need some more money because he didn't realize he was going to have to throw away tree stumps. So I said, but I had a quote and you met with the tree guys.
Okay. Did you sign a contract with him?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can I see the written contract? Did you find the text?
I'm trying.
Okay. So he puts in the driveway, and when do you first notice that there's a problem?
I had given him the $2,300 retainer. Wednesday, he comes back and asphalts the driveway. Before he showed up, I called him on his cell phone, and I said, it doesn't seem graded right to me.
It doesn't seem what?
It doesn't seem graded right to me. I don't think it's going to drain. And he's
How could you tell?
Because there was no slant to the driveway at all, and the area where the trees were pulled out was very soft. So I said, it's not my business, but it doesn't feel right to me. And he says, it's tight. Don't worry about it. This is what we're doing it. So I said, okay. I said, thank you very much.
And then what happened?
Came, put the asphalt down, and they did the hose test. Complete.
What's a hose test?
Hose test is when they ask you for your home hose, and then he fills the driveway up, and they test it.
He wets the driveway to see how it drains.
Absolutely.
With the
and
hose.
He did that on his own with his workers. I was in the house. My kids were in the house, but we were watching. So we
From
watched.
inside the house? You're like,
Oh yeah.
okay. Because you were already having a bad feeling.
I did. That's why I called him that morning.
Right.
And the driveway filled up, wasn't moving. I watched him take a big broom, sweep out the puddle, and then he knocked on my front door and said, "You're all set. I'll take my other $2,300.
And you
Owed him-
gave it to him?
Absolutely not. I said, well, it looked like it was holding some water. And he said, no, you're good. It's just a little bird bath.
What does that mean?
He felt that it was something the birds would enjoy. I don't know.
Okay.
It just wasn't big enough for him to be worried about it. I was worried about it.
How big was it?
I have pictures that are what it looked like the first week, and then it started sinking. So we have videos of what it looked like 3 weeks later. Those are pictures.
You have videos?
Yes, we have videos of 3 weeks after the
How are
install.
you going to show them to me?
Yeah.
We know that you had videos. There we go. Yeah, that's for pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, what happened here? Really bad rain. What is this?
Well, that's what it looked like 3 weeks later.
Is that you?
Walking?
Yeah.
Yes, that's me.
You're like ankle deep in water.
Exactly.
Because what happened?
Because the driveway was sinking.
Sunk?
Right where the trees were. Now, there's another video. There's 3 videos.
Apparently, at the beginning, it didn't look like that. It actually sunk in the areas where there used to be tree trunks.
Right.
It's wild.
Now, there's another video. There's 3 videos.
What is she doing? Skipping rocks?
Yes.
Why is she skipping rocks?
She got 3 skips out of it.
Oh, to show how deep it is?
We were trying to show depth.
Your ankle also shows how deep it is.
Good point.
Okay. Okay. Will you take this to him and let him see that? Because, I don't know that he can see it from the angle. Did you see that?
Yep.
It's pretty bad, right?
Well, we could have repaired it, but we were never.
How are you going to repair it, though?
You had to lower the end of the end of the driveway to let that drain. It could have easily been done.
So when he's standing there saying, "You're all fine, it's a bird bath," what's the next thing that happens? Did you find the text or no?
No.
Okay.
So he explained that he would like to cut perhaps a section of the driveway out. And I said, well, what will that look like? And what if it doesn't work? And I said, you know what, let me go inside. I am going to Google it and see what happens. I said, don't do anything, I'll be right back. I went in the house. And when we came back outside, they had a big pipe, rusty pipe in the brand new asphalt, and they were pounding it and heating it with a torch and trying to create a channel to get the water to run out. So I came out and said, first of all, I asked you not to do anything while I checked it out. And now you got this rusty pipe in the brand new asphalt. I said, you guys got to go.
Okay. And what did you figure out?
Well, he said, you can't, you got to give me something. He said, you got to give me enough for materials. Just give me another $1,200. You have to give me more money. And it just got so uncomfortable. He was in my house now. I said, you know what? I wrote him
You wrote a check for $1,200 with the
did.
full intent of canceling it.
Right. So
you've given him a check for $23 and then a check for $12.
Correct.
He walks out the door
And I called
you
the bank.
stop payment on the $12.
Right.
And then you find out he hasn't cashed the $23. Unlike every other contractor who knows to walk from the customer's house straight to the bank to deposit stuff, why didn't you walk straight to the bank and deposit the check?
Well, I didn't.
All right, trusting guy. All right, so what else did you want to show me?
Well, after we did the job, she faxed me, which I don't have, texted me and said that she was stopping payment on the checks. So I went to her house and I told her that we could infrared the end of the driveway, heat it up and lower it and make the water run. And she says, okay, I'm going to have to get back to you. So after a week, I called her and she says she decided that she was going to take another avenue. And I says, well, where does that leave us? Well, you're not going to get paid. So
Out of curiosity, why wouldn't you just at least give him a chance to try the method he was talking about to see if it works?
I actually did. I said to him, tell me what you would do. The infrared, I don't even know, that was never explained to me. None of those details were ever explained to me. But I said, do I understand that fixing it means I have pieces of my driveway out? And he said, first we'll start here. We're going to cut this out. And then we're going to regrade it and patch it. We may have to do that in 3 or 4 spots. And I said, so now I have seams. I paid for a 1-piece driveway is what I was
And what did he say
contracted for.
when you said, so now I have seams?
That's what I can offer you for a fix. I said, what if that doesn't work? Then you'll replace it? I felt like if I'm going to have a driveway with 4 patches in it, big square patches with seams that can heave.
Watch this. Did you tell her that the patches would be visible?
No,
Right. Can you see the patches or would it be seamless?
it would be pretty much seamless.
Well, pretty much seamless.
I asked him that. That's not what he said.
Yeah, he didn't say seamless. I noticed that.
And then the one-piece driveway is compromised. It's not what I was not what I contracted.
So how do you protect yourself when you hire somebody online to know what they're like?
Yeah, you can check references if they've done any prior work.
Where do you check the reference?
You can't really check. You can't really trust the things that you find on Craigslist or anything like that on the internet because those people might not even be reputable.
So there's no way you could check online? I mean, who knows this?
I'll check credibility. I mean,
How do you know credibility? You haven't met
see if he's done any other projects before. Like if he has some pictures or photographs of some of the other
I'll
work.
give you a picture of another contractor's work. That's a problem going inside the courtroom.
Did you end up hiring somebody to come in, rip it all out and start over?
I did.
And that person cost you another $1,185?
Right. But I also offered at that point, Rick said, we want to come get the materials if you're
Right.
going to use. And I said, okay. I had a letter sent to them saying.
By your
that-
lawyer.
Yes, saying that if you would like to come pick the materials up, please do so. And if I save money because you've torn up that driveway, I'll give it to you.
Right. And what happened?
We didn't hear anything for 3 weeks.
Did you go pick up the materials?
No, here's the letter. We wrote a letter to them
Why wouldn't you just call them and say, I'm picking it up Tuesday?
because I wanted to have everything documented.
Okay, let me see the letter you sent and proof of the mailing. And let me see the letter the lawyer sent you also, please. The letter that you write to them saying, we are willing to make the repairs. That is not acceptable. We'd like to take back our material, which she has not paid for. Isn't done until September 10th. When did you get the job done? And
It was done September 10th. Right.
you have a counterclaim against him for the $1,185 that it cost you to rip it out and do it. Do you have something from your contractor?
Yeah.
In the contract that you have with her, does it say anything about we reserve the right to cure defects or anything like that?
It says that we guarantee the work for.
Guarantee the work, I know.
So, I mean, she had nothing to lose by letting us.
No, I
make the
have to tell you, I
repairs.
would have let you back on, and then I would have said that's not acceptable, and then we would have moved on, probably been in the same place. But
We'll never know
but,
that because we weren't given that opportunity.
Well, but I think that part of her decision-making process were 2 things that you said. It'll look almost seamless, which isn't good enough for somebody who just paid you for a brand new piece. And, well, if that doesn't work, will you then start over? To which you said no to her. If she starts to feel like she's the one who's got to worry about her own problem. Here's the thing. There is a law that requires you to give somebody a chance to cure a good, not a service. A good is, I buy a car from you. The car is non-conforming. You got to give me a chance to replace it with a car that works. I buy a sofa from you. The sofa has a problem. You got to give me a chance to replace it. But the law doesn't require that she let you go back there and fix it in the many ways that you are proposing to fix it, particularly when there's that extent of a problem. That video is very devastating. So on your lawsuit against her, 0. And on her lawsuit against you for the $1,185 that it cost her to get the problem fixed, I'm ruling in her favor. Verdict for the defendant.
The defendant has won on the countersuit. Come on in here. This is the plaintiff coming out with what comment after all this?
Well, I don't think it was right, but there's not much I could do about it.
That work, not your best work?
That's not, I don't think that's the problem. She didn't prove there was any structural problem with the driveway that could not be repaired.
You think she should have given you a chance to come in there and remedy
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Right. Yes, we do. I should have had an opportunity to repair it.
All right, you just follow Officer McIntosh this way. So come on in here. You do win on your countersuit here, right over here next to me. What's your reaction to the outcome here of this?
I'm pleased. I felt I didn't get what I paid for. And when you get something installed in the middle of July and you don't replace until early September, I think
Why not give the guy a chance to come in and fix it?
You know what?
Reasonable.
I thought I was very reasonable. I asked for the proposal in writing. I never got. It was never explained to me what it would actually look like. And he couldn't guarantee anything.
Come on, a heated pipe laying on the side of your driveway. It's a
Yeah,
great remedy.
It was pretty.
Harvey?
Here's the irony here. The defendant won, and it cost the plaintiff more than the job itself, which is the price you pay when you screw up a job. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.